Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Splatoon 2. Last time we started to explore World 3 and now we're ready to enter our next level here, the Auto Resort Spring. Everybody bounce! You get a bounce, you'll get a bounce, I get a bounce, we all bounce. And that's not even much of a joke because this level has a lot of bouncing platforms. So this one we're going to go ahead and use the hero shot. So this is going to be a pretty basic level, luckily. Nothing very too complicated, except for the fact that there's a lot of bounce pads. That's a bounce pad. Bounce pad. And everyone remembers Sonic Boom on Wii U? I sadly do. That was not a fun time. Oh man, what a train wreck. Anything to forget that game is probably for the better. Let's just go ahead and continue on here. So in this level in particular, there's a lot of bounce pads, and because of it, you're going to be jumping all over the place. If you hold the jump button when you're standing on one of these bounce pads, then you'll actually get a higher jump. So that's what you're going to be wanting to do a lot of the times, but there are going to be other moments where maybe you just want to go fast on these bounce pads. And the best way to do so is to not hold any buttons at all. So just bouncing on these things normally is the fastest to move around, but at the same time, you're not going anywhere. So if you need to get some vertical height, you're not going to go anywhere if you're not holding down the jump button. So I like to alternate between holding the jump button and not holding the button on these bounce pads. It really just depends on what I need from this specific section. So here I'm going to hold it real fast so I can jump up and get myself a shield. And at this point, I'm just going to skip along these boxes. And let's see. Can I bait him over? There we go, perfect. Now I can get to the other side without having to worry much about this enemy here. Take that, yeah. Whatever this thing is. I never remember what these enemies are called. I know the Altarians on the top, but this enemy, never remember, honestly. Just gotta avoid sprinklers, that's pretty much all I worry about. And right there I did a nice little trick that returns from Splatoon 1. Now, the Y button is used to center your aiming, but if you just press it real fast, you can also use it as a quick turnaround feature in the game. That's such a useful mechanic in my opinion because it's really good if you just need to get a quick turnaround and just face your enemy once again. It's just that good, in my opinion. A lot of people don't really think of doing this, but honestly, I find this mechanic to be a little more useful when you're playing without motion control, simply just because you don't have to worry about your up and down aim getting a little bit messed up by doing this trick. But I still find it to be a pretty useful trick to do in any kind of control scheme, so it's a thing I used to do a lot in Splatoon 1, and I do it all the time here in Splatoon 2 as well. But these bounce pads here, you don't really need to hold the jump button on in particular. All you need to do is fall to the bottom of the section. But I'm trying to get as many of these power eggs as I can, and it's kind of hard to get the 10 group power eggs just because depth perception here is really not that good. So I'm going to miss some eggs on the way down, but it's not too big of a deal. I still get more than enough power eggs. So we made it to our final checkpoint now. And at this point, I'm going to be careful not to get hit while bouncing around, because this section is a little bit hard to dodge some of the enemy projectiles, but you got to keep on moving left to right. Sometimes jump, sometimes don't, and then I should be able to avoid things. This guy here, this is the one I'm worried about. This Auto Sniper can really hurt, and he's not the easiest to avoid on bounce pads. That's why they put this wall here in between you and the Auto Sniper, because they did realize it's not going to be easiest to dodge this guy. There's not something in between you two. So I'm glad there's a wall there for that reason. But there you go. That was the Auto Resort done. So, a level down. I do like the bounce pads though. They're pretty fun to jump around on. It does lead to some pretty interesting platforming, if you want to be honest. These must be photographs taken by some young adult inklings. Are these so-called twinklings trying to convince their peers that their lives are exciting and full of meaning? Or they're just trying to convince themselves? Nice stab at the internet culture there, Splatoon. I see what you're doing. Trying to make the old people feel young by posting things online. That's not wrong. I mean, people do that all the time nowadays. Now it's time to jump into some dancing floors. The Ink Switcheroo. This level here has probably one of my favorite songs, actually, in the Splatoon 2 single player. It's so good. But jumping into this level here, we actually get ourselves a new type of weapon this time around. And this one's a pretty interesting weapon. We have ourselves the Hero Splatling. This thing can turn you into a one-squid army. It's the Hero Splatling. Hold the ZR button to charge it up, then release the button to unleash a fat stream of ink. Charging up leaves you pretty vulnerable to attack though, so be careful. The other thing Sheldon forgot to mention is just how long it could take to charge this thing. But this is probably one of the best Splatlings in terms of charging rate though, because this one is pretty okay. It takes some time to get to a fully charged shot, but once you had a fully charged shot, this thing could be shooting for days. It's so good. This is one of the most powerful weapons to use in general for the single player, but not just that, it's also probably one of the best types of weapons to use in certain online modes of this game as well. I find the Splatling to be pretty good if it's paired with a specific combo of weapons. It all depends on preferences. One of my favorite Splatlings to actually use in the multiplayer is one that has the ink wall on it, simply just because of how good of a combination it is. You can plop up an ink wall, charge up your shot with the Splatling, and just go to town on enemies, and by the time they get to shoot you, you have more than enough time to get away, and that's why I like this gun. It's just such a good pushing weapon, but at the same time, it can also be used very strategically, and especially depending on what kind of weapon set you get from the multiplayer version of this weapon, it can be really, really good for certain modes. I like using this one in particular for splat zones. It's probably one of my favorite kind of combinations to use there in particular. But in single player, this weapon's pretty good for shielded enemies. Basically, a fully charged shot for this gun will take out the shield, which is nice. But it's also really good for killing Altarians in very little time, just because of how strong it is. The only downside is that charge time does leave you pretty vulnerable, and you don't really move that fast walking around while shooting this thing. So it's probably one of the slowest weapons to walk around with for that reason, but as long as you're not just sitting still with this, if you're going to get attacked, stop shooting and start moving around in your ink. If you want to cancel this right away, go into your squid form. Doesn't matter if there's ink on your feet or not, go into your squid form and it'll immediately cancel this out. So you're going to see me doing that a lot just to stop shooting, simply because of just how useful that can be. So here I'm just going to try and take out all these Altarians as fast as I can just to get me some more eggs. So go ahead and take out you guys here. Oh, that's a shielded guy. That's going to take a little longer, but it's not a big deal. And take out the sprinkler. Oh, come on. I thought I had more than enough of a charge to take that thing out, but I guess not. Speaking of sprinkler enemies, here's one right here. Just be careful not to get hit by him, but I'm going to kind of ignore him for the most part here. So this vault here is in our way. We need to go ahead and get ourselves a key. Although I can shoot over here and get me some more eggs, so that's nice. But according to Marie, I do have a problem. The problem is these guys. What I'm going to do for now is I'm actually going to charge up a shot, wait for this guy to come over, or he can ignore me. That sounds about right for these enemies. This is probably one of the weirder collectibles to get, simply because it's not hard to see, but trying to bait these guys over to where you're standing is not easy. I don't like this part. Come on, just go more straight. Come on, buddy. Go straight. No, don't go backwards. Ah, this is what I don't like here. I gotta bait these guys over in some way, so I'm gonna try to stand in front of them. Come on. Notice me. Why is it so hard to get noticed? Alright, there. I'm finally noticed. It's a miracle. And then his buddy stands in front of him, so the other one probably forgot I existed. Alright, there you go. Hit the zip line. Hit this box, and as you can see, the collectible we've been trying to get this whole time is the sunken scroll. Now, the question is, will this take me to the sunken scroll, or is he just not going to cooperate? Answer is, he's cooperating. It's a miracle. Let's get out of here. I don't like that section. That's just an annoying scroll to get, just because of how slow those guys are. It's so bad. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some armor, because I don't really have any, and climb our way back up. Luckily now we don't have to deal with these little sprinkler enemies at all, so I'm just going to throw a curly bomb and get out of here. Alright, let's make our way to the next section of the level here. Charge up a little bit of my shot, ink up the wall. And here in particular, I'm going to be careful, because if I shoot that target too much, this platform will actually push me off the edge, so I don't want that to happen. So let's just wait a second here. Come back out platform, and I'm going to try to get the shield immediately. Come on. There we go. He got stuck. Good. He really got fascinated by that corner. I don't know why he was that fascinated, but it works out for me. Hit that target a little bit, just like last time. I don't want to shoot all the way, because I want to be able to get on this next platform, and I can't if that platform's fully extended. And just like before, I need to only extend this a certain amount, so I can make my way over to the next section, and hit our final checkpoint. So So the Zapfish is just up ahead. In fact, it's literally right above us. So we're very close. And I'm going to see if I can get around this guy without getting damage, please. There you go. And let's go ahead and grab ourselves some more power eggs over here. There we go. These enemies are really not in some good patterns for me right now. Come on. Alright, good. We're good. Now I just gotta hope that guy stays in place for long enough because I need him. I need that enemy because I need to jump on top of him. And then from there, I can make my way over to the end of the level. Fortunately, I lost some of my shield, but it's not really that big of a deal. I still have another set of armor. But now this guy, come on, cooperate. I'm gonna try to bait him with a bomb. Now charge up a bit, and he stopped in the worst place. Go more forward. There you go. Waiting for these guys to move is one of the worst. They just take forever to move, which I don't like. Luckily, this one wanted to wait for me. How kind of him. So there you go. Finally done. Let's get out of this level. This one's interesting. I do like it and use the Splatling, but the cycles in this level is the one annoying part to wait with. Enemies moving around, not the best mechanic. So there we go. Now that we cleared that level, we can go ahead and use the Splatling in any other level along with the hubs. Honestly, the Splatling is probably one of the better weapons to use in the hub world, just because of its range. So kind of like the Charger, this is going to be used a decent amount just for exploration. The most fashionable gear is crafted with the latest in textile technology. Heating materials to produce smooth curves, or distressing stiff fabrics to increase suppleness and change their look are common techniques. Neat. What would you do without me? I wonder what you would do without me, Marie. Maybe you have to do all this yourself. So, before we continue on, I'm actually going to jump back to World 1 real fast, because I want to go ahead and upgrade some stuff. So now we definitely have more than enough eggs here to upgrade either my Hero Shot or the Ink Tank. Now, the Ink Tank capacity is really useful for all the weapons because of how fast you use ink, but I'm going to go for the Hero Shot upgrade. Before I do so, I want to show this. So, watch how much damage I do to the orange, green, and purple dummies. As you can see, my shots do take a decent amount of time to kill all three of them. But now, let's go ahead and upgrade my gun to level 2. Hero Shot's the only weapon that actually has multiple levels to it. Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3. If you go to the Other Weapons tab, these weapons can only get upgraded to Level 2, but in exchange for that, they're all very expensive. 1,500 power eggs and 3 sardinium. But now you see my upgraded gun, watch the damage. It's a major difference. Of all the guns, I highly recommend you upgrade your Hero Shot. Simply just because of that damage output increase. It's insane. It's honestly, in my opinion, kind of required. Just because of how much damage that thing does. It's insane in terms of what it does in level 1 and level 2. But now let's go ahead and make our way to our next level here, the parking garage. Drive to the finish. So this level we gotta go ahead and use our Hero Charger. So unfortunately we don't get to use the gun we just upgraded, but we'll get a chance to use that later on. Don't worry about it. We'll definitely get to see that gun in action here in a future level. But climbing up, we can go ahead and destroy that box, the only way to get up, and get ourselves some more power eggs along the way. But here, let me see if we can get all 3 balloons in one shot. Just barely. I always miss one, I swear. I mean, it's very easy to line them up, but I swear just trying to hit all 3 is next to impossible because I feel like my final shot misses somehow. It's just kind of hard to get all 3 of them, but I'll have my chance to redeem myself later. For now, let's go ahead and kill this Altarian, and it drops a shield. How nice. So this isn't just a parking garage, it's also a car wash apparently. I agree with Sheldon. I don't think I want my car washed here if it's just going to be filled with a whole bunch of ink. That's not washing. That's just painting it. I don't even want my car painted here either. That doesn't sound any better. So let's go ahead and ink the tree. Why not? We just ink a tree. It's fun. Oh, wow. I can't believe I did enough damage to actually destroy my shield. Let's just go ahead and charge up my ink a little bit. and get me some more power eggs over here, and then we can move on. So let's go ahead and throw down my bomb to make a trail, and continue onwards. So here in particular, we gotta be very careful because as you can see, there's an octo sniper over there, and he is very deadly in this section in particular. Because there's a lot of open gaps here, you don't want to stay still for too long, because if you do, then that octo sniper has a very easy shot at you. So constantly move and make sure you're hiding behind a wall. But I'm gonna stop every once in a while so I can get me some more power eggs and also take down these Octarians. So unfortunately, that does kind of make me an open target. Oh, there he is. I saw his balloon, but I didn't see the Octarian. That was a little weird. Fortunately, I don't have any more armor now, so 2 more shots from this guy and I'm dead. 1 shot to take me to my critical mode, and another shot just to kill me in general. So let's not stay still for long. Let's get out of here. Alright, this enemy in particular, I'm going to just go ahead and try to use a bomb to kill him. Okay, is he going to fall off? He did! Nice! That's one way to kill an enemy. Unfortunately, if you do have an enemy walk off the edge, you don't get its power eggs, so that's the only downside for me killing that Octarian by just having him suicide. But it's not too big of a deal just because I don't really need the eggs from that guy. It's only going to give me a handful of eggs. So it's not going to be that big of a loss in my opinion. And I did not mean to stop there, but that kind of worked out in my favor. I mean, I was expecting to go all the way up to the top of the platform in my squid form, and as soon as I got out of the metal grate, I was going to shoot him from up above, but shooting the optical sniper mid-climb, probably better, and also safer, and even cooler looking too. So all around, just a cool idea, even though it was by complete accident. I'll take that happy accident. Alright, so go ahead, take out you. And from a distance, take out his friend before he notices me. And let's take out the sprinkler. At this point, you're going to notice a lot of enemies just hiding from underneath the level, flipping up, and getting ready to kill you. So in this section in particular, be ready to have a fully charged shot ready to go at all times. You're going to want it because there's going to be a lot of hidden enemies to deal with. Alright, so here I'm going to fully charge up a shot. Move over a bit, and there you go. As you can see, another enemy ready to kill me as soon as I pop my head around the corner. The only downside to charging up your shot and then rolling around your ink is you don't recharge your ink as you have a charge shot on. So, unfortunately, that was kind of a problem because I did need more ink, and I couldn't get it until I shot out my charge shot. So, that's the only downside to this little mechanic of the chargers, but not really that big of a deal in honesty, because if you really need the ink that bad, you just let go of your charge shot. It's fine. Alright, so here we have ourselves a new special, which is the Ink Storm. This weapon here, as soon as you throw it down on the ground, it'll start raining ink all over the place. This is really good for ink coverage, so I find this to be a really useful special to use in Turf War in particular. Not just that, but it's good in terms of single player to open up these crates from farther distances, and it does put pressure on enemies, so while it can't really kill right away, Ink Storm is really good just to get a lot of small damage into your enemy. It can kill after a while, but it does take a long time for the rain to kill, so don't rely on an Ink Storm to kill your enemies. You mainly want to use the storm to pressure your enemies out into the open, and then attack them from there. And now we got ourselves a key, and I know exactly where it goes, but before we put the key into the lock, let's just go ahead and make our way over to this platform and get ourselves a ticket. So, that's a free experience ticket. I always like me some experience tickets, so the more of those, the better. And here, let's see if we can get all these balloons in one shot. Now, of course, I missed the final one. That one's kind of hard to get, though. There's 5 balloons in a row, and from a far away distance, you're probably going to miss at least one just because your shot isn't going to be powerful enough. So, I'll take what I can get, though. 4 out of 5 is pretty good. But that's another level down, and that was a pretty fun one. Probably one of the better cases of just showing off how good the Splat Charger is in this game compared to Splatoon 1. I just think it's a lot better here in comparison to Splatoon 1, and it's mainly because you can charge and then roll around your ink now. That's a major buff in my opinion. The latest research has produced startling revelations about Inkling ink. Once thought to simply disappear after a while, Inkling ink is actually rapidly disintegrated by airborne microbeads. Well, that's one way to describe why the ink just disappears after a while. People just thought it went away on its own, or someone came to clean up after a turf war match, but nah, it just kind of gets eaten away. That's an interesting way to describe things, to say the least. And now with that, I'm actually going to go ahead and end the episode on that note. So let me take out the sprinkler because I don't want it around me. And with that, I'm going to end the episode here. Next time on Let's Play Splatoon 2, we'll be entering our next level here in World 3 and wrapping things up here. I'll see you guys next time.